Hey, Battle Built here with another video, getting into some more Season 8 Great League Go Battle League battles. And in today's video, we have another submission from a fellow battler of the community by the name of Cuito 42028, and he's submitting a Spice team for us to be shoutcasting today that's going to be covering Shadow Venomoth. Actually, I just realized the Shadow icon is not on screen, so let's get that on screen real quick. No, Scrafty is not Shadow, the Venomoth is, and Shadow Venomoth is one of the Pokemon that received a bit of an upgrade because of the Season 8 boost or update to poison type moves. It has access to Poison Fang, which means it's going to allow Shadow Venomoth to have a little bit more play than what it had in the past. And Bug Buzz was like a season or two ago, received some sort of boost too. I think it was a effect on potential buffs or debuffs. I'm not exactly sure the specifics. So let's see how these battles play out. The team comp Cuito put together was Shadow Venomoth with Alolan Ninetales and Scrafty behind it. So if you're excited for these Spice battles, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And with all the shoutcasts, as I've been doing them for the most part going forward, these are going to be sped up unlike my actual battles, and there are going to be more of them. I think there's about 8 here. I could be wrong, but it's definitely more than 5. So if you're excited for a bunch of content on some Shadow Venomoth, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into these battles. First match for Cuito has Shadow Venomoth on a Nidoqueen lead, and because of that confusion damage being super effective, is a positive lead. They save swap into Mandibuzz, and he comes in with his Charmeleon and Ninetales to absolutely wall the Mandibuzz in the situation. So sitting really well in this first match. Tanks the Shadow Ball because there's no stab and Mandibuzz is a tanky Pokemon. Really doesn't need to worry about any other charge moves coming through. Can definitely let another Shadow Ball come through and tank it and charm down the Mandibuzz. But they do get the 2 foul plays. Should be able to still survive this also based on how much the other foul play did. But it ends up being a Shadow Ball. Oh no, so this is going to potentially flip this matchup because Switch was flipped. The Mandibuzz is farming quite a bit. It's going to get to another charge move. Got his shields here. Unfortunately, was not able to keep Switch because Mandibuzz is quite the spammy beast. Does have a bunch of energy on the Shadow Venomoth though, and let's see what the opponent decides to do. They come in with an Azumarill, and because of this poison buff and Poison Fang getting the defense drop that it now gets 100% of the time, Shadow Venomoth has great play against the rest of the opponent's team even after losing Switch. Got a shield and landed 2 Poison Fangs. They swapped out to clear the debuff on the Azumarill, and then the Nidoqueen comes back in, stays in with Shadow Venomoth to potentially confusion down through another Poison Fang. Gonna let a charge move come through. Unfortunately, ends up being a Poison Fang of the Nidoqueen's own. But what he could have done here to probably make this a little bit of a safer match for him was come in with a Scrafty against the Nidoqueen and save the Venomoth specifically for it. But it really looks like Shadow Venomoth is going to be putting in work and getting the job done. Gets another Poison Fang through that gets a defense debuff on the Azumarill. The Azumarill has nowhere to run now because of the fact that it's the only Pokemon left. They do get off a Play Rough onto the Scrafty, but Venomoth is going to come back in, get to another Poison Fang, and take out the Azumarill's remaining health in match number 1. And Shadow Venomoth off to an amazing start, taking care of some pretty meta Pokemon in the form of Azumarill and the Nidoqueen, which come meta because of that poison buff. So solid start. Getting into match number 2, another Nidoqueen lead. Surprise, surprise. That confusion damage makes Shadow Venomoth one of the better poison types in the update that it got for Season 8. They safe swap into Shiftry. He throws a Poison Fang and then swaps into his Charmeleon and Ninetales. Probably should have just swapped into his Charmeleon and Ninetales right away. Didn't need to waste the energy. But look at how much these charms are doing. Can definitely tank 2 Leaf Blades here and keep Switch, unlike the last match, and still charm down the Shiftry and have shield advantage. So really solid position right here. Waiting for another Pokemon to come in. It's an Umbreon, getting some solid charm damage in. Has a Scrafty that's going to do amazing against it, and this match is already over. Scrafty on Umbreon, even though they did pull a really solid swap to catch a Power Punch, it's not going to make much of a difference because the Venomoth is going to be able to come back in once the Switch timer is up. Gonna let a charge move come through. Possibly could have been Earth Power, but I guess they threw relatively early. Cuito makes a very good call there. Only ends up being a Poison Fang. The Confusions are chunking away at Nidoqueen because of super effective damage. Gonna get a Poison Fang off, lower the Nidoqueen's defense. And honestly, do you even decide the shield here? He decides not to. Scrafty's gonna be able to handle the rest of this, and the Venomoth and the Queen end up taking each other out, and the opponent decides to quit because they had no chance with Umbreon on Scrafty in match number 2. Let's get into match number 3. An interesting lead here. Shadow Venomoth on Defense Deoxys. This might be a situation where you want to throw the Bug Buzz, but Bug Buzz does take quite a while to get to its chart. Bug Buzz does take quite a while to get to. They threw a Rock Slide, which would have been super effective because of Venomoth's bug typing, if I'm not incorrect about my typings like I usually am. Bait with a Poison Fang. Great play by Cuito there. They're going for another charge move here. He's going to double shield the Rock Slides. Yes, it would be super effective, so it would definitely one-shot a Shadow Venomoth. Going for another bait for the Poison Fang. Really great plays here. Gets both of the Defense Deoxys shields, and he outpaced the Bug Buzz, and Bug Buzz actually coming in clutch and being useful here. For the Shadow Venomoth, it's going to be able to take out the Defense Deoxys, and let's see what they come in with. They come in with a Medicham. So is he going to try to build it to another Bug Buzz or go for the neutral Poison Fangs to debuff? Both of them would be neutral because of Medicham's fighting typing, along with its psychic typing. They counteract each other and make this neutral damage. But I know, oh my god, that hit really hard. That hit so hard. Shadow Venomoth essentially just swept because they decided to quit and give up because of how OP that Bug Buzz was against Medicham. That is not what I was expecting for some neutral damage. That was actually insane. Cuito going off with the Shadow Venomoth here. A positive lead in the next match with Shadow Venomoth going up against Venusaur. The confusion damage is going to be super effective. They safe swap into Altaria. He's going for a Poison Fang here. Probably should have swapped immediately into Alolan Ninetales, but you know what? Why not get the defense debuff? Because who doesn't want to see that 100% defense debuff from the Shadow Venomoth whenever you can get it off? The charge move is coming through from the Altaria. It's going to be a Moonblast. Only neutral damage. Not too worried about it. The Venusaur is coming in, but the Alolan Ninetales is at a Weather Ball, which is going to be dealing super effective damage. Gets a shield from the Venusaur, and they decide to throw really quickly. I guess they are worried about the Alolan Ninetales getting to another Weather Ball, but can come in with the Venomoth, and Venomoth is just going to absolutely wall Venusaur. Another high meta Pokemon. They're going to be going through with a Sludge Bomb, but the Sludge Bomb's resisted. Venomoth also double resist Frenzy Plant, and now Venomoth against Umbreon, going for the super effective Bug Buzz. Oh my god, that's a lot. And they got the defense drop. Venomoth is going off right now. Charge move going to come through. It's a last resort. I guess they want that extra chunk of damage to make sure they could take out the Venomoth, and Scrafty should just make this Umbreon quit. They decided they wanted to stay in. They're going to get off another last resort. It's not going to do anything to the Scrafty. Moonblast Umbreon when to hit Scrafty with double super effective damage. I kid. And Scrafty finishes off that match after Shadow Venomoth puts in some more hard work, really just taking care of almost entire opposing team comps in these sets. Another positive lead with Shadow Venomoth going up against an Azumarill. Going to be able to spam these Poison Fangs, which makes the neutral Confusions do even more damage and chunk away at the Azumarill. Gets the Azumarill already down to like a third of its health. They're getting to a charge move here. Either Hydro Pump or Ice Beam. Should just be an Ice Beam or resisted Play Rough. They must have Play Rough and Hydro Pump like I was kind of calling, because definitely don't want to throw a resisted Play Rough unless you're baiting. And then they come in with a Hypno. Now, Hypno does make sense because of Venomoth's poison typing. Confusions will be doing super effective damage. But I really wish he would have threw that Bug Buzz, because that thing probably would have slaughtered Hypno. I would have loved to have seen the damage output. I guess the opponent either was risking the potential bait or didn't know that Shadow Venomoth has such firepower with super effective Bug Buzz. So they could have been just very lucky with their naiveness. Either way, Hypno throwing a charge move here. Cuito's going to commit to the Charm Down. Has no shields here, but their last Pokemon is a Shadow Gardevoir with 2 shields. This is going to get a shield, but Scrafty's not going to want to see this. Thankfully, those charms are doing a bunch of damage, and He gets off a Poison Fang here, which would be super effective. Will get the opponent's last shield. It explains why they didn't shield the Hypno. Will the Venomoth be able to confusion down? There's no way. The Scrafty is going to take double super effective damage from a Gardevoir, and it gets to the power-up punch just in time for that double resisted damage to take out the Gardevoir. And there's no way that Scrafty is a Shadow Gardevoir counter confirmed. That was actually ridiculous. What are these matches? We need to get more submissions from the homie Cuito, submitting the spice and the exciting matchups. Actually insane what we're watching firsthand right now. Opponent loses lead, has another positive lead with Confusion Venomoth on that Nidoqueen. They save swap into Sableye. He wants to get more of those Poison Fangs off, but already has a hard counter. Probably should have went into Alolan Ninetales right away, but it doesn't matter. They get off a return. It's okay. We're going to charm it all the way down. Opponent's either lagging or debating on quitting because they really don't have much of a chance here. Must have been a little bit of lag, or they stopped attacking so the Nidoqueen could get some farm, but that's going to come back to bite them because he gets off a Weather Ball, which almost one-shots the Nidoqueen. Coming back in with the Shadow Venomoth. Probably going to have to deal with an Earth Power here. Nope, not enough energy for an Earth Power, or the opponent assumed they were going to shield. They come in with a Politoed. He's getting off another Poison Fang. This will get the debuff. Potentially get a shield. It does get a shield. You let this come through. Politoed's going for a Weather Ball here. Gonna shield it. Has another Poison Fang. Not gonna get Mud Shot down. So honestly, I don't disagree with the play. Could potentially get another shield on top of the fact that it's gonna get a guaranteed debuff. Should go into the Scrafty, but doesn't even need to. Doesn't even need to. The Venomoth debuffed it so much that I was able to just confusion down the Politoed and take another match. This is probably, like, I do a lot of features of, like, specific Pokemon, but, like, I've never done a feature where this Pokemon has gone off so hard. Now, running into really his first hard loss of the set of battles that he submitted, gets a shield from his opponent on a Poison Fang, decides to stay in, has to stay in. 2/3 of his team is really weak to Bastiodon, so he can't really safe swap because then the Scrafty might never be able to line up with the Bastiodon, so needed to play that out the way he did. Was able to get a shield though, which is relatively hype. But they decide to swap into their own Shadow Politoed, and then he gets a shield on the power-up punch. The opponent is definitely shielding some questionable stuff here, but is it going to be enough for their opponent to throw this match after having such a positive lead? Gonna have another charge move come through. Do you shield this? Kind of don't want, don't want the Alolan Ninetales going up against a Bastiodon. You don't really want to shield it so that you can charm down the Politoed. When Scrafty can just come in, counter, has 2 shields, and their last Pokemon is an Alolan Raichu, which is a Psychic type. Does not want to see this foul play. They definitely should have saved those shields. This match is over. An absolute throw by the opponent based on their shield management. But Cuito also played it well, recognizing his situation, being double weak to Bastiodon. Bastiodon is definitely a problem for his team, so needs to just take the L on the lead and let Scrafty come in and do the work that it did in this match. I thought Cuito was going to end up committing to a double shield flex because he probably would have survived that Stone Edge. But decides last minute the shield, takes the dub. Let's get into the next match. Another Nidoqueen lead. So if you notice, these are like rank 12 battles, not because Cuito's currently at rank 12, but because of the fact that he submitted me these battles and it's only been like a week of the season. So like, not easy for me to get to the submissions immediately as they're coming in. So that's the only reason why these are rank 12. I'm sure Cuito has his rating by now and is around that rank 20 area. I'm wondering if he's still using Shadow Venomoth because he's absolutely going off here. Now, he stayed in the Stunfisk safe swapped in. He stayed in that matchup a little bit quicker than I would have recommended, especially when he has a hard counter of Scrafty. The opponent goes for a bait, calls the Rock Slide bait. Huge call by Cuito there. Gonna call another move. This seems like it's not enough to be an Earthquake. It's not, ends up just being another Rock Slide. Probably gonna commit to a counter down at this point. And their lead was Nidoqueen, but their last Pokemon is Medicham, and they decide to bring it in because the Medicham can come in and counter down the Scrafty. But once that happens, he has an Alolan Ninetales with Charm in the back. So I'm gonna let this charge move come through. Everything's still lining up very nicely for him in this matchup. They decide to swap into the Nidoqueen, makes his decision even easier to go back into a Shadow Venomoth here. Gonna throw a Poison Fang, as we've already seen, it's resisted, but it's still getting a shield because people just don't know Venomoth's moveset. How often are you seeing Shadow Venomoths? like not that often. So because of that, people are shielding moves that they're just not sure what's coming through. Who knows, maybe after this video, you see a little bit more of Shadow Venomoth running around, because this thing is absolutely going off. And I love its moveset of Confusion with Poison Fang, because Confusion is extremely heavy hitting, and then Poison Fang is getting defense debuffs, which makes the Confusions hurt even harder. And he decides to stay in this matchup with the Shadow Venomoth to make the Bug Buzz really useful here. Because, you know, you gotta warrant buying that third move, lands a Bug Buzz, slaughters a Medicham, and just destroys in another match in the set. Getting into the next match, we have Shadow Venomoth on a Vigoroth lead. This is still probably a relatively positive lead, even though this is neutral. At least resists the counters that are coming through. The spammy body slams are going to be a bit concerning. Let's see how much damage a body slam does for Vigoroth. That's a lot. So Shadow Venomoth, glassy like most Shadows. Overfarms, honestly, I probably would have thrown the Poison Fang right away just for that defense debuff, so the future Confusions would have done more damage. Does get a shield there. Just trying to get to another Poison Fang there. Another charge move's coming through from the Vigoroth. Gonna be a body slam. He decides to shield it. Should be able to win this. Gonna be able to Confusion down before. Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't think that the Venomoth was gonna be able to Confusion down before another body slam, but it was close. It was close. And now there's a bunch of energy. Doesn't have shield advantage, but it's only one shield to 0 shields. Has a bunch of energy that could potentially threaten opponent's other shields. And then they come in with a Stun Fist. This shouldn't threaten any shields unless people really just have no idea what Venomoth is running. But yeah, Poison Fang being triple resisted. He's going to stay in here because he wants the Scrafty to line up with the Galarian Sunfist. Does not want his Charm Ninetales lining up with it. Gets Mud Shot down, but there wasn't a lot of Mud Shots. Comes in with the Scrafty. Opponent staying in with all these defense debuffs, which means the counters are hitting hard, even though that Earthquake went through. Opponent swaps into Azumarill. He comes in with the Alolan Ninetales. This is going to be a bit of a tough match. They still have the shield. The charms are going to add up, but he doesn't have any shields, and this is a Hydro Pump. It could be game over. It's a play rough. Alolan Ninetales will live to see a little bit longer. Is it going to be able to get the Azumarill low enough, though, for the Scrafty to potentially finish it off and then take care of the Stunfisk? Not looking too positive. This is going to be tight. Another charge move coming through. This should be another play rough that will take out the Alolan Ninetales. Oh, it's an Ice Beam, which doesn't take out the Alolan Ninetales' remaining health. A bit of a mistake on their end, because now the Scrafty can come in, counter it down. Stunfisk comes in, gets a Power Punch to come through. This should get the shield, even though it's a very low. Oh, no, didn't get the shield. Actually, that kind of makes sense, because if it did get the shield, then this next one will do even more damage. So smart play by the opponent. This will definitely get the shield. Will he be able to counter down before the charge move comes through? Is this going to be an Earthquake for their opponent to just barely take this match? It's not. It's a Rock Slide. Scrafty survives, counters it down, and still pulls out the match, even though at the end it wasn't looking too positive. Getting into another match of the set, we have Venomoth on another Azumarill lead. If you love to see Azumarills get destroyed like I do, that was probably my favorite thing about this Season 8 update. With all the poison buffs, Azumarills definitely have less play. We've been seeing a bunch of it with Cuito's Shadow Venomoth here. Lands the Poison Fang, does a bunch of damage. Honestly, probably going to shield this and then commit to a Confusion down. Shadow Venomoth is absolutely destroying Azumarill. Calls a Hydro Pump, which is huge. And the opponent's taking 7 years to swap. They swap into an Alolan Marowak, and then they're lagging. He gets a little bit of lag on his end or he got stuck in the middle of the Confusion because he tried to swap, but then threw the Poison Fang, getting a little bit more lag here, unfortunately. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Poison Fang goes through, swaps into Scrafty, and unfortunately this is a lag-filled match. But honestly, comp-wise, Venomoth, Shadow Venomoth against Azumarill, destroying it. They swap in a Alolan Marowak. He has a Scrafty for it. Kind of falls on their third Pokemon, but like, this was looking pretty positive. So Cuito not only is doing amazing with Shadow Venomoth here, put together a very balanced team comp, have a lot of success to make sure the important things were covered. And this is Azu Double Ghost. So honestly, the opponent might have just quit because they weren't really sitting in a great spot. He also has Charm Ninetales, which would have slaughtered this Sableye, but now we're just kind of stuck with some lag. I can't exactly speed this up because of the way that I'm recording. I'm not sure how to do that. So we're just going to sit through this, but we already know that Shadow Venomoth in this comp is absolutely destroying an extremely popular team in Azu Double Ghost. And now the Alolan Ninetales is down the Azu. the opponent saving those shields for season 9 maybe. And that seems to be the last match of all the sets that Cuito submitted to me. So please let me know your thoughts on the battles. They started off hype from the get-go. So Cuito, thank you so much for the submission. Shadow Venomoth is a force to be reckoned with, and now I need to go and check to see if I have any Shadow Venomoths so I can play around and mess around with this Pokemon and potentially this team comp. But again, let me know what your thoughts were on the battles. Let me know your thoughts on Shadow Venomoth and what your favorite poison type is that got buffed with the Season 8 update. And as always, if you want more of this exciting content, because these are crazy battles, some of the craziest battles I've shoutcasted in a minute, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support the channel, especially because I'm trying to get that content down a lot now, and my month hiatus or so that I took has really kind of crushed any of the channel's momentum. So hopefully we can just cram out some content, get back into the algorithm, and just keep on pushing out the good stuff for you guys to enjoy. Thank you all for watching as always, and I will see you all in the next video.